But it's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us, like a good drug, never enough.
We'd hook up in my car, driving so far, play you guitar, you'd show me your art, let down our guards, think with our hearts, stare at the stars. We were never apart, drinking too young, way too much fun, out in the sun, no pain when it's gone. Took you to prom, dance to our song, dance all night long till the lights come on.
Late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. Late nights, long fights, it felt right, we were alive. We would go out, we were so loud, we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious.
We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side. Finally alive, we would just drive, never arrive. Our journey was live, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old. Screw what we're told, we can't be controlled.
Late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. And how careless
How old were you when you realized you were kinky? My name is Jerry Pelser, and in my latest book I explore the topics of friendship, young love, family secrets, and kink positivity in a new series of 4 books called The Felicity Street Annals, a children's story for adults. The first book in the series launches on the 30th of May and is available in both paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com, along with my other, distinctly more adult, BDSM-flavored novels.
Sensually Royal is an adult toy store that sells all things sensual and kinky. We only sell top quality toys to give the full royal experience. Book a sensual session with Queen Ananas, professional dominatrix, to guide you and your partner on using our toys in the most intimate and sensual way. Pleasure is the name of the game. Remember that kink doesn't have to mean pain. You'd be surprised to see what terrifying looking toys can be used to give you an arousing, alluring, and sensational experience. Contact information: Queen Anana's WhatsApp on 063 398 2355. Instagram, Queen Ananas Official. Queen with 3 E's _ Ananas _ official. And obviously, Sensually Royal. Instagram, Sensually _ Royal.
Hi, my name is Josh Muller, and it's my mission to support people in reconnecting with their bodies, to heal mind, body, and spirit. In my practice, I utilize a holistic approach to healing trauma that incorporates talk therapy, guided breathwork, and various forms of touch, including deep tissue massage and trigger point release. For those seeking to heal specifically from sexual trauma and wish to expand their relationship with pleasure, I specialize in a form of intimate bodywork called Tantric touch. All the modalities I work with can be experienced individually or in combination, as standalone treatments, once off, or as part of an in-depth therapeutic process, in person or online. I work with men and women individually as well as with couples. So whether you are interested in receiving a massage, a 12-week coaching program, or anything in between, my promise to you is to meet you where you're at and provide a safe and supportive environment for you to grow and to heal. For more information, or to book a free consultation, WhatsApp me on 074 403 9886 or go to my website talktouchbreath.co.za.
You know you love my escapades. A little bit of fun ain't a crime. We could lock ourselves in and fuck for days. We could take advantage of time. No, I'm not one of those good girls who buys you gifts for your birthday. I show up with sex toys in a trench coat, telling you to behave. That guy, handcuffs, swing set, and whips to make you wish you never came back. I like to have fun with this shit. I told you when you met me, boy, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. I'll strap you to the bed if you let me. I thought I told you I'm one kinky son of a bitch. Give me one night to control you, then I'll hold you like one kinky son of a bitch. I'll rip your clothes off, take a load off. After a long day, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. If you take a look in my bag, you will see you don't know how. One kinky son of a bitch. All I do is misbehave. An animal I'm too hard to tame. Got more than class, I'm different, babe. After me, your life won't be the same. You'll be falling in love. No, I'm not one of those girls you wanna take home to mama. Cause when we visit, she gon' probably catch me doing some things that I should not do around her. Being handcuffs, swing set, and whips to make you wish you never came back. have fun with this shit. I told you when you met me, boy, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. I'll strap you to the bed if you let me. I thought I told you I'm one kinky son of a bitch. Give me one night to control you, then I'll hold you like one kinky son of a bitch. I'll rip your clothes off, take a load off. After a long day, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. If you take a look in my bag, you will see you don't know half.
One kinky son of a bitch.
I am
One kinky son of a bitch.
I am one kinky son of a bitch.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent or that of the program, its presenters, hosts, directors, or other team members.
This show is intended for audiences aged 23 and older. This production and its digital copies contain content of an adult nature. If you are easily offended or are under the age of 18, this show is not intended for you. The posts, pages, and recordings within are intended for adults only and may include descriptions of scenes of sexual content, suggestive opinions, detailed discussions, and graphic topics. Listener discretion is advised.
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and her dress got down her leg.
It's time for Lola's Lessons.
It's time for Lola's Lessons.
Good evening, lovely lustfuls, and welcome to the 9th episode in Season 4 of Lola's Lessons, your favorite nighttime talk focused on education and sex positivity. In tonight's lesson, we discuss orgasm options. It's going to be absolutely climatic. But before we do that, let's kick this episode off by mentioning the association endorsement sites, our friends at Z-Night. The Z-Night website has combined socials, events, parties, and workshops for all walks of life and like-minded individuals. Z-Night is a quality South African community of unique, fun, uninhibited people who enjoy life to the fullest, who are into casual dating, social networking, open relationships, and alternative lifestyles. With an extensive amount of social platforms for us adults to connect on, Z-Night makes finding these quality connections easy, affordable, accessible. If you guys would like to join the Z-Night community, head on over to www.znight.com and explore countless possibilities. Your Lola Blakely production moderators for this evening are my man Axel and my other man Fox. Then, of course, we've got our ever whip-cracking Miss Medusa, production manager, on air with us to make sure that the production runs smoothly. Feel free to engage with them during the airing, send them a wave, send them questions. If you guys have any, they're here to keep us safe. And these people really work hard to help promote the production and our ever driving force of promoting sex positivity. Now it's about that time of tonight's episode where I get to introduce my beautiful blonde bombshell of a wifey and co-host, Miss Carmen Ellie. It's so nice to have her with me every Friday night, and I'm so sad that it's the second last one this evening. Wait, do I have a boo button? No, I don't. I was looking for a boo button, but I couldn't find one.
Hello, I have slippery fingers again.
That's the wrong boo button.
Where's the yay?
Where's the yay? The yay. You want to? I don't know.
That's better.
It just goes on too long. Okay, pipe down. Hi, Combs, how are you?
Oh, Lola, look at you in your pink. You're looking very feminine tonight, I must say.
I mean, I'm getting, you know what, Lola is known for wearing black on black on black on black, right? And I've just been getting so many compliments with me in my pink, so I'm thinking pink might be my new color.
It's gorgeous on you. On my Friday. Where am I again?
Yes, on your Friday. It's Lola's lessons. How can you not know it's Friday? You are terrible. Have you had a good week, Commie?
I've had a great week. I've had an orgasmic week. I've had clients leaving to go and have an orgasmic weekend and rest of their holidays and all of those things. I've had an eargasm. I haven't had a nosegasm. I don't know if that even exists, but we're going to find out.
I love a nosegasm because that's possibly when you sneeze multiple times. So I normally sneeze in threesomes. I don't know if I've told you this, but I normally sneeze in threesomes. I always sneeze in threes, right? And yeah, that's just. I want to know: have you had an orgasm this week? That's what I haven't had an orgasm this week. I'm hoping tonight I'm getting lucky. It's been too long. So I have to have an orgasm at least once a week. But this week has been a tough week for me. Really upset about it.
So when are your plans for having an orgasm? Have you scheduled it in?
I have.
Scheduled orgasm.
I have, and I've let the person in question know. Schedule that shit in, okay? Because I'm getting me some. I don't care at this point, okay? Either it's you because the toy's not going to work. Otherwise, we need to make another plan. You need to get me hooked up here. So, no. After the show this evening, Lola will be getting her orgasm on. I've had it.
I'm so glad. We all know what your plans are.
Yes.
I feel in touch and connected and whole.
Yeah.
Okay?
I love it. Also, there's nothing wrong with having an orgasm. Let me just tell all those people listening going now, oh, I can't believe she just said that. Gosh. Yes, so what? When last did you get yourself an orgasm? I think you need one, Debbie Downer.
You can't. Shh. What are the neighbors going to say? Please.
Fuck the neighbors.
Okay. You can't.
Having the same. Speaking of how the neighbors are going to get orgasms, right? Don't you have an orgasmic toy for us this evening as well?
Of course I have one. And of course, we are going through the Eros range because you know the Eros fans.
We are so much.
And our wonderful Eros toy for tonight is the couple's ring vibrator. Okay, so it is a wishbone-shaped toy with a curved design and flexible arms, and it's a very, very clever toy.
Why is that?
You've seen this toy. Hey, you've seen the shape. Has your imagination run wild already?
Yes,
it has. Okay, so it's a multi-vibrator for a variety of stimulating options. It's exciting. It's an affordable piece. Literally, this thing can be used for him alone, together, for her and her, for him and him. There are many ways to play with this toy, and no one needs to be excluded. Okay, and this is what I love about it. It is a nipple stimulator, a clitoral vibrator, a cock ring, a G-spot, or a perineum massager. So this little toy does all of those things. Okay.
Holy hell. That's a toy right there.
Yeah, it's not a gigantic toy. It's a very discreet looking toy. Okay. Lola will be posting the picture in a moment. And you can pretty much have your cake and eat it. You can have chocolate cake with it too. Yay! Your favorite.
So, you listened to Wednesday night's episode, didn't you?
I just know it's your favorite. I didn't have to listen to Wednesday night's episode. It was a great episode, by the way.
So listen. Can this be used? It can be used as a cock ring too, right?
Yes, yeah.
So let me tell the listeners.
So turn your penis into a vibrator.
Into vibrator. That's
while you're at it.
That's exactly.
Yes. Oh, were you going to say that?
Yes. So you know when I have my biggest, my hugest, most amazing, intense orgasms, right? I've got one of those. I think it's a Sovak. What's that brand called? You would know.
Oh, the
The Svakom. There we go. I've got a Svakom little cock ring, vibrating cock ring, right?
Say it again.
Svakom.
Yeah. You're so funny.
I mean, it should be fuck me, but anyway.
Fuck me, fuck him, fuck us all.
So I've got one of them, and on the one side, it's almost like a ribbed kind of buttony thing. On the other side, it's smooth. So you can choose which side you want to, have it rub against your clitoris. So you get the penetration and you get the clitoris stimulation. And I'm telling you, a little bit of foreplay, like not even a lot. We all know that normally it takes 40 minutes for the vaginal canal to be ready for intercourse. But I'm telling you, it doesn't even take that long. If you use that thing right, and this is what I love about this toy of this evening, I know for a fact the vibrating cock rings send any lady to heaven.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, have you seen the depth of it all? I mean,
yes,
it's got
it's
a good
large
for the clitoral stimulation.
That's the only issue that I've got with my fuck-om is the fact that it's, you gotta be in deep the whole time. Otherwise it doesn't reach the clitoris. So that's frustrating for me. What I like about this Eros one is it's extended to such a point where it can actually reach the clitoris, even though you aren't, when you're busy thrusting, it can reach still in that moment. So that makes it excellent for me. Great choice for this evening.
And I mean, think about its arms. Think about all the places its little probes can go. So we'll actually also post the picture of uses. I think that will be useful to the listener. And I mean, at the end of the day, it is still a rechargeable toy.
Sure.
It is a waterproof toy. You can take it to the bath, take it to the shower, take it to the jacuzzi, take it to the neighbor's pool. It's all good. Okay, you can have lots of fun with this thing.
My life, you did not just say that. If you get caught, you didn't hear it on Lola's lessons. Okay, we plead the fifth. We fucking plead the fifth. Anyway, so excuse me. This evening we've got a very exciting guest. And I mean, I spoke to him briefly yesterday, and I just had the most warming feeling chatting to him. Also, he's hot as hell, can I just say? So that makes it even easier and even more comfortable chatting to tonight's guest. Without further ado, let's head on over and meet Mr. Josh Muller. Josh is a holistic, somatic, and tantric therapist with 10 years of clinical experience. Through a combination of modalities that include talk therapy, guided breathwork, bodywork, and intimate bodywork, he helps his patients to reconnect with their bodies, heal from trauma, and create fulfilling and connected lives on every level. Psychologically, emotionally, sexually, and spiritually. His formal training and life experiences include sports massage therapy. Listen, I can have me a massage right now. Autonomy and physiology, exercise science, somatic experiencing, ABA, which is anchor-based approach to psychotherapy, compassionate inquiry, breathwork, and tantric touch. I hope I pronounced all of this shit right. You know me and my pronunciations. His Instagram is Josh_talk_touch_breath. And that is our guest this evening. Good evening, Josh, and welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Lola, and good evening, Coms. This was a lot of fun to just watch you guys have at it for the first 20 minutes. God, it's chaos over here. This is bloody lekker, man. This is lekker. I wanted to, before I forget, I just wanted to, before we go on, you mentioned using a cock ring to turn a cock into a vibrator. And I just had to mention right off the top that my favorite thing to do is turn my mouth into a vibrator. when going down on my lovely lady. And the way I do that is by doing a particular kind of breathing technique called a bumblebee breath. So you take a deep breath in through the nose, hold it at the top for a moment, and as you breathe out, you start to hum. Like that.
Why are you doing it, Carmen?
Start to flick your tongue. And yeah, orgasms aplenty.
Okay, and this is why Josh is here. Okay,
this is why Josh is here. There we go. Exactly. I mean, this is going to be absolutely orgasmic. Let's get started. Josh, tell me where and why orgasm in particular? Why are you so passionate about orgasm? Let's hear this.
Well, so first of all, I'm passionate about orgasm because it's a peak experience that allows people to connect very deeply to the sensations and the inner workings of their body. I look at orgasm sort of as a tool. So tools can be good, tools can be bad. They're basically neutral. And orgasm, especially in the context of the work that I do, is really useful to help people to release and heal from trauma, to heal from sexual abuse, from shame, from guilt, from self-judgment. And it's a way of connecting, like I said, connecting more deeply with yourself and with others.
I love it. Do you
they feel really good?
They feel, yeah, obviously, and I think that's what we're all chasing, right? Is the feel good feeling. But in your work, do you get to give a lot of people orgasms or not really?
Yeah, you were asking Carmen earlier if she's had an orgasm this week, and I just thought to myself, I've given quite a few orgasms this week.
I know.
This is fucking peak.
Yeah.
This is the best.
Thanks, Josh, because he was at my shop on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, this is not fair. So you were at Carmen's shop on Tuesday, and she has.
We were face to face, you know. Could feel each other's energy. Yeah, so getting orgasms in my practice. So, yes, I do, but it's a little bit more in depth than that. So I'll just explain. Using orgasm as a tool, especially in my workspace, is something that I do, but it depends on the individual. So a lot of people come to me, say for example, men that come to me with experiencing premature ejaculation. So for those patients, we wouldn't use orgasm as a tool, especially right up front. What we want to do from a technical perspective is we want to train the body to hold the energy of orgasm. So what we call ejaculatory choice. We want to like build that into a program for a person. And also at the same time, we're addressing the psychological aspect of premature ejaculation, which is that why would someone prematurely ejaculate in the first place? It's that for one thing, they are disconnected from their body to the point where as the orgasm is approaching, they're not paying attention to it. They're not noticing that that's happening. So we want to discover, okay, why are you disconnected from your body in the first place? What is the trauma? What is the wounding in childhood that has created this disconnection? So we're approaching it from the physical perspective, and we're from the emotional and psychological perspective as well. So it's a very holistic way of working. But that's one aspect of orgasm. Who said something about ear orgasm and nose orgasm?
That's just common to say something like that.
Yeah, because she's an animal, a savage.
My savage. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are.
But I love what you had.
to. Go for it. Sorry.
I love what you had to say about the whole the psychological and the physical and bringing that together, because I mean at the end of the day what we have when there's premature ejaculation is, okay, I need pills, I need creams, I need all of those things, but that's not really the root cause of the problem, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's something that I try to instill in my patients is that anything, whether it's sexual or otherwise, anything that's happening in the body, any pain, any tension, any tightness, any so-called dysfunction, whether it's a sexual dysfunction or a mental illness like depression or anxiety, anything that's happening at the level of the body is not a symptom, it's a signal. It's a signal the body is telling you something is wrong, something deeper needs to be addressed. And so the body is always knocking, the body is always sending us a signal, trying to tell us, hey, this thing is wrong. And when we ignore the body, that's when we start to get chronic illness. That's when we start to develop cancers and autoimmune diseases, because the body needs to knock louder and louder and louder.
Oh.
Whoa.
I mean, it's been a week.
Yeah.
This is my body going.
My
body's busy going. Lola, hear me. So, is it normally people that struggle to have orgasms? Or does it always stem from childhood trauma, or is it sometimes different kinds of trauma? What kinds of trauma have you seen in your practice that prohibits people from getting orgasms or from achieving orgasms?
Normally the people that struggle to orgasm are the women that show up in my practice, and usually this is due to an earlier trauma. So childhood trauma is very common, but it can happen that trauma happens later on in adolescence or in adulthood. That will then cause the body to react in such a way. So it's important to understand from this perspective what is an orgasm represent to the body. It represents a surrender, right? To orgasm is to let go. And so if you've been traumatized, there becomes a sort of armoring, which, there's a de-armoring process we can talk about where the yoni doesn't open to penetration. And so we can ask that question, okay, why is there a closure? What is happening that there's armor in the first place? And it's usually, or I say usually, but it's always related to trauma. There's always some sort of sexual trauma or adverse sexual conditioning. So you're taught that sex or sexuality is shameful or sinful growing up, and then when you take that on, you take that on at the level of the body. So the body feels, you feel the sense of shame or guilt or self-judgment or fear, and so there's a holding on to protect yourself. So what I like to try and do is create, first of all, a sense of safety, so that the person feels safe to explore these aspects of themselves, the psychological aspects and the physical. And then I also want to help people create a sense of empowerment. So a lot of women that come to me who are anorgasmic, they've never had an orgasm before, they'll come to me with that problem. And through our work together, ultimately what I'm hoping that they'll achieve, or what we're working towards them achieving, is an orgasm by themselves. Right? They're not necessarily going to have that first orgasm with me. They might, it's happened before, but my preference is I receive a call in the morning and say, Josh, oh my God, you won't believe it. It's been weeks or months. I did the self-pleasure practice and I finally had an orgasm. Thank you so much. And that's the sort of thing that's like, it's such an empowering thing. If you can give yourself an orgasm by yourself, the chances are you'll be able to bring that into a partnership or into a relationship or a sexual encounter of some kind.
I mean, you'd think that was beautifully described, Josh. You'd think we're actually so privileged. I mean, them that can climax. My question here is, the people who typically come to see you, are they not able to climax either which way, inside or on top? Or is it more via penetration versus clitorally? I mean, that is...
Well, the interesting thing is that, the inability to orgasm is sort of, it's a big deal, but it's also sort of like a surface level thing, because a lot of women especially are experiencing sex from this from a role, from like this role of from a submissive role, but not like submissive dominant in terms of like a kinky role, like submissive role in terms of that's the default. They've defaulted to that role. They're having sex out of obligation, or they're disempowered from having the kind of sex that would lead to orgasm. Right?
Oh, this is such fucking first
So
prize
a
content.
lot of a lot of women. I'll give you an example of something that I find that encapsulates the work that I do. I'm working with a woman, and we're working towards a yoni massage, and I ask, "Is it okay if I touch you here?" And she says yes. Okay, and we're working, and we're working, and we're working, and we're working, and we're getting to the intimate part of the massage. And I ask again, "Is it okay if I touch you on your yoni?" And she says no. Right? And that's cause for celebration because she's never said no in her life. She didn't know how. She's never communicated a no before. So now she's taken her power back. That no is that is a watershed moment for this person. That no is more powerful than anything else that she could have said, because she's making a boundary. She's creating a space for herself, taking her power back. And what happens next? She has an orgasm on her own. That's what happens next.
Oh,
sure. I mean, I'm speechless. So here's my frustration, and Josh, you and I touched on this. Just pardon me. We touched on it very, 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 very briefly when we spoke, and it's the fact that our roles in society at the moment are so fucking twisted. And it makes me, it frustrates me to the point of screaming, right? Because great for us ladies, okay? You went ahead and you fought for feminism. Yay us! Yay us! Now we are so empowered, but we cannot orgasm. Why? Because we're having to do all of this other shit now, okay, that we fought for. We wanted to do this, okay, we wanted it.
We're tired now.
But now we're tired. Also, when it comes back to, you've taken so much power that wasn't yours to take. You've left and lost out on your own. We've forgotten our own power within our own bodies, even to the point of allowing ourselves pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. So now you want to be hitting nails in the wall. Okay, let me not even go off on a tangent. You want to go be hitting nails in the wall, okay? But you're not experiencing pleasure. The other frustrating thing for me, and we've spoken about this a couple of times, comms, is the fact that a lot of men like to do the missionary ejaculate finish. Okay. And this is why what Josh says makes so much sense. Sorry, my light fell over now, so I just see this glare on my face. Anyway, it's because the way we have been taught to experience pleasure in the past, it was always missionary, ejaculate, go. Okay, there was no foreplay, there was no sense of sensuality, there was no sexiness, there was no having fun ahead of time, there was none of that. It was put in, put out, get off. And then basically, because you haven't been experiencing orgasms for so long, you forget how. You forget how to allow yourself to get that pleasure when you're finally having sex with a man that knows what he's doing, as opposed to get in and get off.
Yeah, and then you're like, what are you doing? Why are you touching me here? Oh my goodness, but this feels nice.
Why does this feel nice? It's not supposed to feel nice.
I'm ashamed because you touched my yoni. So here's the thing, right? Okay. Then he's going to roll over and go to sleep, and you're going to grab your Satisfyer Classic Pro 2 Plus, and you're going to just quickly sort yourself out, or you're not. Okay, you're not going to do those things because now it's unimportant. You're not going to communicate about how it is you would like to be touched because you don't know yourself how you like to be touched because you haven't actually put that effort in to find out. So the responsibility, we can also shift that back onto us. Truly, we can.
It's so interesting. The way you're describing that is like you're describing the problem so perfectly. It's like men and women in this context, they're like they're not even having sex with each other. They're having sex at each other, you know?
For themselves.
Oh, yes.
It's just, yeah, the man, like you're describing a man like going in and, you know, he's missionary ejaculation and it's over. But there's this rush to orgasm. It's the skipping of all the pleasure. And the woman
It's a
is
rush.
there. She's being quiet. She's not saying anything. There's no communication happening because everyone's scared. Everyone's feeling shame. And yeah, you also, Lola, you used the word foreplay. And I just think, just play. Drop the four. It's all play. All of it's play, you know?
I love that.
And I like to tell,
I love that.
Tell my couples, I like to tell my couples who are struggling with the deep level of intimacy, that like we're gonna play a game first. So the next time you're making love, we're gonna set up a game. So first, before clothes even come off, we're breathing together, looking in each other's eyes. This is gonna
conscious breathing.
You're not allowed to rush to penetration. Yeah, you got to consciously breathe. You got to connect via the breath. Then we're connecting via touch, and it's light, slow, sensual touch.
Oxytocin level.
Yeah. Do you like to be touched here? Is it okay if I touch you here? So you're playing this game of consent, asking and receiving, giving and touching.
Oh, I love that.
And the build-up is so slow that by the time we actually get to penetration, first of all, I mean, my personal rule is, especially if I'm with someone for the first time, is that I don't take my pants off until you've had at least one orgasm. Like, like, come on now. Women can have lots of orgasms. I'm having probably one. Like sometimes I can have, men can have multiple orgasms as well.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna just have the one big one. So let's get you there a few times. Have a good time.
Love that.
That's brilliant. I mean, how many people in their week have multiples? Or is that just reserved for your birthday sex and your Christmas sex?
Christmas sex. Okay. Christmas sex. What's Christmas sex? Is that that's something special? What does it look like, Carmen?
I'll send you the videos tomorrow. Okay.
Listen,
okay.
Listen. Can I have videos too? Fuck's sake. What am I chopped liver?
Chopped liver is delicious.
I'm just saying, it's always a special occasion sex where we can actually go, okay, But I mean, the normal day-to-day week time is where are the multiples there?
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not only speaking on behalf of myself. It's an open-ended question. Just saying. Because we're rushing it all.
I think it needs to be there. Yeah, it's the rushing. It's the rushing that I find, sex is sacred. Sex is sacred. And so we should treat it with that sacredness. We don't have to rush to orgasm. There is so much between, especially for men, there's so much between the start and the end that can be deeply, deeply pleasurable without it being necessarily an orgasm. Whereas, and the same for women, but of course with women, there's this opportunity to have that peak experience over and over and over again. And that I think is a very powerful, very valuable thing.
And potentially when the script is I'm here to give and not just to receive, that changes the whole dynamic of the interaction and the play.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great point. That's something that I'd love to expand upon actually. That this idea. I think we all. I've certainly suffered from this in my life. That there's this unconscious belief that I only deserve to receive if I give. So in my practice, there is this dynamic, a created dynamic in my practice of I'm the giver, and the person that I'm working with, they are receiving unconditionally. There's no opportunity for mutual touching or for reciprocity, and especially men, but some women as well. But for the most part, men struggle so much with that. It makes them very uncomfortable to receive without giving. And it's because we are not taught to receive love unconditionally. And this is a big thing with we are taught to earn love as children. This is touching on childhood trauma. We are taught that we are supposed to earn love, and that's not okay. We're actually supposed to receive love unconditionally.
Yes.
So when you set up, and you can set this dynamic up in at home as well with a partner, that okay, tonight it's all about you. It's all about your receiving. You can communicate. I like to be touched here. I like to be touched in this way. Don't touch me there, right? And so it becomes all about you for that time period, and it's really, really powerful. I actually think this is such a powerful practice for couples where the woman is taking the role of giver, and the man is giving himself the opportunity, one, to surrender into his partner's touch, to be held by the feminine, and to practice open communication. I like this, I don't like that. And of course, it works the other way around as well, right? Where the woman has the opportunity to surrender into the masculine. And of course, it works for lesbian couples and gay couples, and 3 at a time, 4 at a time. It works for everyone.
Is it really that difficult for men to lie back and receive and surrender? Is it really that difficult for them?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that we are taught very much that that love is conditional, and we receive love through works, that we must earn our love. And men also play a pivotal role in, or have played this pivotal role in society of being the protector and the provider. So it's hard to drop that. It's hard to let go of that, and to allow ourselves to be nurtured by the feminine, especially if we've grown up with feminine figures or mother figures that were nurturing us in a way that was conditional, right? How am I supposed to receive without giving if I've only ever learned that I only receive when I give?
Sure.
So
that's quite powerful, hey?
So with me in my partnership, right? I think we've got it down to a T at the moment. So just this evening, actually, he was eating and I took his plate away. And he said to me, "You take such good care of me." Because we've got this dynamic where I allow him to be what he's supposed to be. I allow him to be the nurturer, the protector. Oh, not the nurturer, the protector, the provider, the man of the house, right? And I assume the position of the nurturer, the lover, the carer. And when it comes to pleasure, I am very dominant overall. So I have numerous times instructed him to just lay back and just enjoy. No touching, no, not even looking. Okay. Just lie back and accept my gift to you. And then it's from giving him a linga massage to 45-minute blowjobs, right? It's all about giving that, and it's not about trying to prove a point here. It's about connecting. People don't realize it's about connecting. It's about allowing your partner to feel loved, to feel cherished, to feel like you've given them a gift that they won't be able. You can't buy shit like that. You can't buy that kind of feeling, that kind of release, because at the end of that, the release is so orgasmic that it's not something you can explain to anybody. And it's reciprocated, right? With us, it's reciprocated. I get exactly the same, even though it's been a week. But just hear me. It's been a fucking week. But it's reciprocated, but we still have our right roles in society. So, and we both have childhood trauma. We both have we've both had difficult upbringings and difficult this and difficult that. So but we worked through it. We communicate very well. We have that connection that really allows us to go, okay, I'm allowed to surrender to you now because I trust you. I trust you with myself, and I trust you.
Safe.
I trust you with my pleasure. How many people can actually turn around and say, I trust my partner with my pleasure?
Well, you're
Not that
trusting
many.
them. Yeah, you're trusting them with more than just your pleasure, right? And your pleasure is carrying shame. It's carrying self-judgment. It's carrying a level of vulnerability. So what you're saying is, in some ways, like a blowjob is far more vulnerable and intimate than penetrative sex.
Absolutely.
I've heard this from women in the past, the women that I've been with. It's like, I'm trying to go down on someone. They're like, actually, I'd rather we just had sex. I'm like, oh, wow. The first time I heard that, I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. And when it was explained to me, like, no, actually, it just feels a bit vulnerable. Wow, that's so interesting. Because there's such a surrender there. There's a sense that your partner is feeling a level of safety that he's able to let go of those feelings of shame, and he's allowing himself to be vulnerable in your presence, and that's really beautiful.
I love that for us.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
And I would love that for our listeners as well.
Yeah.
We need to go to a slight commercial break because we are already, Medusa's going to hit me on time. I mean, I'm going to bend for spankings. So firstly, this evening we have done the female orgasm rights. After the break, we are going to do the male orgasm. Why did we do females ahead of males, Josh?
Because we're trying to prime the audience so they understand women come first.
And on that note, lustful listeners, go. On that note, there we go. We've got me back. And on that note, lustful listeners, go refill your drinks, slip into something comfortable, because tonight we are doing options of orgasms. Yes, babies, it's very lustful up in Lola's lessons this evening. We'll be back in about 10.
She's got a little crazy in her, sharp eyes with the mind of a sinner. All those dark thoughts, yeah, still a beginner, but you can tell that she's got a little demon in her. Cause she can make a man obsessed, she can make a man confess, she can make a man cut checks. Cause she looks better when she's undressed. Just a couple secret sinners. Yeah, she's just what he eats for dinner. She's easy to love, oh, and easy to hate. She tastes like a drug and she feels just the same. Bitter to the tongue, but a thrill for your brain. A little bit crazy, but it's worth all the pain. She's a dark little artist with ink in her veins. She's been through the hardest, but prospered from pain. She appears to be heartless, surrounded by flames, but through all the darkness, a lover is changed. She's nerdy and sweet, but she's dirty underneath. If those flirty eyes could speak, lustful thoughts would release. Cause she hates that she loves so hard, like a disease. It's left her with all these scars no one can see but me. It's a beautiful thing. You'd never quite know what she thinks, but if you're lucky, she just might let you see what hides behind nightmares and dreams. She's easy to love, oh, and easy to hate. She tastes like a drug and she feels just the same. Bitter to the tongue, but a thrill for your brain. A little bit crazy, but it's worth all the pain. She's a dark little artist with ink in her veins. She's been through the hardest, but prospered from pain. She appears to be heartless,
Sometimes we're looking for the more, but we just don't know what the more is. And then we come to play with me. 3 words, like me, play, toys, fun, games, cheekiness, with, intimacy, connection, relationships, and finally me. It starts with self, and that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
How old were you when you realized you were kinky? My name is Jerry Pelser, and in my latest book I explore the topics of friendship, young love, family secrets, and kink positivity in a new series of 4 books called The Felicity Street Annals, a children's story for adults. The first book in the series launches on the 30th of May and is available in both paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com, along with my other, distinctly more adult, BDSM-flavored novels.
Sensually Royal is an adult toy store that sells all things sensual and kinky. We only sell top quality toys to give the full royal experience. Book a sensual session with Queen Ananas, professional dominatrix, to guide you and your partner on using our toys in the most intimate and sensual way. Pleasure is the name of the game. Remember that kink doesn't have to mean pain. You'd be surprised to see what terrifying looking toys can be used to give you an arousing, alluring, and sensational experience. Contact information: Queen Anana's WhatsApp on 063 398 2355. Instagram, Queen Ananas Official. Queen with 3 E's _Ananas_official. And obviously, Sensually Royal. Instagram, Sensually_Royal.
Hi, my name is Josh Muller, and it's my mission to support people in reconnecting with their bodies, to heal mind, body, and spirit. In my practice, I utilize a holistic approach to healing trauma that incorporates talk therapy, guided breathwork, and various forms of touch, including deep tissue massage and trigger point release. For those seeking to heal specifically from sexual trauma and wish to expand their relationship with pleasure, I specialize in a form of intimate body work called Tantric touch. All the modalities I work with can be experienced individually or in combination, as standalone treatments, once off, or as part of an in-depth therapeutic process, in person or online. I work with men and women individually as well as with couples. So whether you are interested in receiving a massage, a 12-week coaching program, or anything in between, my promise to you is to meet you where you're at and provide a safe and supportive environment for you to grow and to heal. For more information or to book a free consultation, WhatsApp me on 074 403 9886 or go to my website talktouchbreath.co.za.
Welcome back, Lustfuls. This evening, we have Mr. Josh Muller with us. Josh Muller is a holistic, somatic, and tantric therapist with 10 years of clinical experience. Through a combination of modalities that include talk therapy, guided breathwork, bodywork, and intimate bodywork, he helps his patients to reconnect with their bodies, heal from trauma, and create fulfilling and connecting lives on every level, psychological, emotional, sexual, as well as spiritual. His formal training and life experiences include sports massage therapy, anatomy and physiology, exercise science, somatic experiencing, ABA, which is anchor-based approach to psychotherapy, compassionate inquiry, breathwork, and tantric touch. Goodness gracious, I mean, what a mouthful already. His Instagram is Josh underscore, hold on, let me start over, at Josh underscore talk touch breath. Welcome back, Josh. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So before the break, we discussed female pleasure, okay, female orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And now I see Carmen's got her finger up already. She's going, me. I want in on this one. So before the break.
No, I'm saying give me 2 minutes.
Give you 2 minutes. Okay, go for 2 minutes.
Because we actually discussed men's orgasms in part 1 too. So can we extend female by like 2 minutes?
Okay, you're on it. This is the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth, Carmen. We're on the same page.
You see, I'm greedy. Okay, I'm greedy. There are 2 women here and only 1 man. So I insist.
That's how I like it.
Josh is a happy man.
Fine. Okay, go for it. What's your 2-minute ad?
What do you got, Carmen? What do you got?
So when it comes to failure to climax, okay, and we touched on this in the first half, and we spoke about the psychological aspect, we spoke about the physical aspect, and I mean, we can get back to physical, and where someone like yourself may not be able to help, although I think you can probably help to a large degree. I had one instance in my life that is...
And we've lost Carmen.
At the moment of climax there.
At the moment of climax there. Carmen, you're going to have to repeat everything. Okay. You're still hacking. Carmen?
Oh, okay. Now can you hear me better?
Yes, perfectly fine now. You'll have to start everywhere from you had a moment in your life.
Oh, okay. I had a moment in my life that would have haunted me until today if it wasn't resolved. I got it resolved, okay? It's hauntingly good and hauntingly bad at the same time. So my mother passed away 7 years ago. I could not climax for 5 months thereafter.
Sure.
A part of me thought, because now you can see me having sex, and this is freaking me out.
No ways. Oh my God.
That's how I felt, Lola, okay?
This is brilliant.
And the thing is, once it starts becoming a problem, it's all you can focus on every time you're intimate. And you're like, okay, I'm almost there. And you're like, maybe you're watching now, okay, if I turn around like this, maybe you're not watching me anymore. Okay, maybe I can do it. If I climb under the duvet, maybe you can't see. It was such a thing for me for 5 months. And the partner I had at the time was incredibly patient. And he just said to me, you know what? It's okay. It's okay if you can, it's okay if you can't. It's okay. And that was breakthrough night. Because I was so focused on that end goal and so obsessed with why I couldn't that I was preventing myself from doing it.
Too much in your head.
And I didn't know you then, and I didn't know Lola then, and I wasn't going to contact an expert then. Okay?
Why not, though? Why not? Can I ask that? Why not?
Because I thought, there's probably just something wrong with you. Just soldier on, you know? Don't do, what are you going to walk into a therapist's office and say, I'm scared that my mom's watching me having sex, so now I can't come back. It just seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know? So it is. You feel embarrassed and ashamed. And I mean, if you had a partner who then you'd started pretending you climax, I could have done that. Oh, haha, yeah, you know, and just pretend. But you can't, you know, that's not my personality. I'm not going to be pretending. I lived a life of pretending before. I'm not going back there. So, I mean, your partner makes a huge difference. But that is a great example of a trauma that doesn't come from childhood. And I had someone come and see me once before who had a similar issue with climax. And I said to her, has someone close to you died? And someone had. And I said, okay, but listen, I've had the same creepy experience, you know.
So if I knew you back then, I would tell you, Carmen, trust me, I'm pretty sure they don't want to see you having sex, so they possibly leave the room when they see things not getting hot and heavy. That's just my 2 cents that I would have added. I promise you.
Yeah, I fully agree with Lola. Like, was your mom trying to watch you have sex while she was alive? Like,
I mean, if I had to pass away, if I had to pass away now, Carmen, you bet your ass, every time you have sex, I'm going to be there, okay? Because I just love watching.
Okay, listen. And I am going to put on a show for you, okay? The best show.
I love that for us both, actually. I love that for us both. Oh, fuck, we sick puppies.
I'll invite you, Josh.
I thank you. I appreciate that. I'll be there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, are we done with the female orgasm now? Or is there anything else that everybody wants to add?
I want to add something. I want to add something. So we spoke, I think most of the time we spoke about inability to orgasm or difficulty orgasming. But that's, there are a lot of people who are listening or, that have no trouble orgasming and they want to take their orgasm game to the next level. So I just wanted to mention a couple of the different kinds of orgasms that you can have as a woman. I don't speak from personal experience, secondhand experience. So obviously everyone knows that there is the clitoris and you can have a clitoral orgasm. People are mostly aware that through penetration you can have a G-spot orgasm. But what people might not be aware of is that you can have a cervical orgasm.
What?
Oh, there we go. I got Lola's attention. Yes. Okay. So cervical orgasm.
I'm listening.
Is as it's been described to me, makes all other orgasms seem kind of stupid and pointless because so the stimulation of the cervix under the right conditions produces an earth-shattering volcanic eruption of an orgasm. So
tell me how to get it and tell me now. Okay. I want to know.
Okay, so the best way to practice is with a crystal wand. You start with a crystal wand because they're long enough to reach the cervix, and you can control the amount of stimulation. And so you just, in a self-pleasure practice or with your partner, get a crystal wand into your yoni and allow it to gently touch the cervix and move it around, finding what feels good for you. And as you build towards orgasm, have the cervix stimulated at the same time and see what happens.
Oh.
I'm busy Google searching crystal wand. What is a crystal wand, Combs?
I've got one for you. It's like a dildo, but it's a crystal dildo. I mean, you could probably also use a glass dildo, but I mean, crystal, you know what? Yeah. Crystal would just be far more romantic, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, crystal just sounds very fancy. Good.
The nice thing about it is because they're nice and hard, like imagine. So there's no flex at the tip, so you can really get in there.
Okay, and does it have to be a certain length, obviously, to reach the cervix?
Well, just every woman's different, right? So some women's cervix is closer to the closer down to the yoni like further in or closer to the entrance. So really just depends on your own anatomy.
So you know what fucks me
off?
You know what fucks me off, right, about Google, right, is I'm literally Google searching crystal one because I want to see what it looks like, right, and all I get is like a staff. You know, like a Harry Potter staff, like crystal staff. So I'm going, where is the sexual imagination of the world? Fucking wake up.
You could probably use that one, hey? That's fine.
No, but this has got like steel in it and very, I don't know, claws and shit, and I'm not into claws and shit. And like wrapping snakes. I mean, I'm into the other kind of snakes, not these kind of wrapping snakes around. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so we want to get a cervical orgasm. Sounds so sexy.
Let's get it.
Oh, yes. We want all of that.
My partner is particularly adept.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
She's a very lucky girl also. I know what I'm doing.
So she's a very lucky girl, that's for sure.
Lucky girl, that's for sure.
Lucky girl. Okay, so let's move on to the male side. I've had a couple of clients that have come to see me for erectile dysfunction, which is really, really sad to me because when I sit and I chat to them, and I think you're gonna have the same, it's all about they're very much embarrassed about it. They're very much self-conscious about it. They're very much in their heads about it. And the more they think of it, the worse it is.
100%.
And it makes me so sad for them.
Nail on the head.
Yeah. It makes me so sad for them.
You hit the nail on the head. It's 100%. I'll touch a little bit on this thing of disconnect because this is what it is, right? When we get stuck in our heads, what we are is disconnected from our bodies. Okay, and the body can either be in survival mode or reproduction mode. It can't be in both at the same time. So what happens? And I go back to childhood because our earliest experiences are the ones that form our beliefs that we use to navigate the world. And if you, for example, grow up in a household where certain emotions are not valid or welcome or acknowledged, and those emotions come up, then what are you supposed to do with them? Right? They're in the body. That's where emotions are felt. They're felt at the level of the body. And if you don't have a place to process those feelings or a person that can be a safe space for you to process those feelings, you have to get somewhere. So you're going to escape into your head. That's the only place you can. And once you're disconnected from your body like that, things like erectile dysfunction becomes a signal that your body is telling you, hey, we're disconnected sexually. We're disconnected from ourselves. And those feelings that come with, those feelings that you mentioned, like the embarrassment, the shame, and the self-judgment that comes with that it's debilitating. It's debilitating.
It's absolutely debilitating, yes.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a physical issue at all. It's all a psychological issue.
So I would say that like all physical issues.
We've lost Josh. We've lost Josh. Carmen?
Manifestation.
There we go. Okay, you're back.
Okay, good. Okay. The physical manifestation of a dysfunction isn't, and it's not an explanation of the dysfunction. It's just a description. The explanation is always rooted in trauma or adverse childhood experiences. It's always that this physical symptom that you're experiencing is actually, like you said, it's a psychological issue.
Look, you get the medical conditions as well, which is not as much psychological. It's really a medical condition, but you do get
like which one?
Well,
yeah.
When you get medicine for it, when you go to like men's hospital.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
So you get the when it's not really psychological as per se, it's I don't know, early ejaculation. Is that something that you have experience in?
Yeah. So Yeah, for sure. So I'd say, so yeah, when it comes to things like premature ejaculation, I would say the same. There's like the root cause of something, and then the different treatment options we would take are obviously going to be very different, right? So like there is a physical approach, a somatic approach to the treatment of something like erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation. But when we dive deep psychologically, we always find a root cause that is based in someone's emotional life. Except in rare cases, of course, like people can have accidents, like car accidents and like spinal cord injuries, which, I mean, that sort of trauma isn't an emotional trauma, that's a physical trauma, but of course that's manifesting itself in the physical body as well.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Comes, you had your hand up there.
So, I mean, and this is what you cover in your practice. So a guy comes in and he's like, I have erectile dysfunction, and you actually go through the whole therapeutic process. We unpack trauma. You actually go through from the beginning straight through. That's what you do.
Yeah. So yeah, I do. And especially when it comes to things like erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation, I want and on the women's side, when women are anorgasmic or have difficulty with penetration, the first thing that I want people to get to grips with is that their so-called dysfunction isn't a dysfunction. It's a perfectly normal reaction in the context of their lives. The same with addiction, depression, anxiety, all of these so-called dysfunctions. In the context of someone's life, there isn't anything wrong with them. It's the body's natural reaction to their situation. And I'll use depression as an example. I spoke earlier about growing up in a home where certain emotions are not welcome. You're not allowed to be angry. You're not allowed to be sad. You're not allowed to be this. You're not allowed to be that. So what are we to do with those feelings? We push them down. That's what depression means. It means to depress. It means to push down. So we can see that actually in the context of the life of someone who's not allowed, does not have permission to feel certain things, that they're going to become depressed. And it's the same thing with premature ejaculation. If they're highly anxious, or they feel they've grown up feeling that they needed to perform in order to be loved, or they needed to earn love in a certain way, right? There is a fear and a shame attached. They're going to have that performance anxiety. They're not going to be able to perform sexually because it's too much pressure.
Let's talk about the kind of guys that also have premature ejaculation issues or erectile dysfunction issues because of like you mentioned, substance abuse maybe, or or whether it be steroids, or whether it be alcohol, or whether it be drug use. How would you get, because that's not going to be necessarily because of trauma. This is going to be because of something that they have done to themselves. Or are you going to go back to why are they using the substance? Is that how it's going to work?
There you go. You've hit the nail on the head.
I get it.
Exactly. So addiction again is something that when someone comes in and I'm helping someone treat an addiction, the first, I wouldn't say it as we start, okay, you've got to stop doing the thing you're doing. No, the first question I ask is, okay, what is the substance or behavior that you're addicted to? What is it doing for you? Right? Because it's doing something. It's providing
a release,
something
or a security or something.
A release or a relief or a numbing or a distracting. And we instead of saying why the addiction, we realize that the reason for the addiction is that there's a pain. The person's in pain. So the real question is, okay, why the pain? Where's this pain coming from? Let's work through this pain. And eventually the addiction, when people work through their pain and they create better coping mechanisms, that's when they're able to move away from addictive substances and behaviors.
That makes a lot of sense. So I know diabetes has also been linked to erectile dysfunction. How would you treat something like that? Because I mean that's possibly going to fall under medical, right? Isn't it?
Sure, for sure. Yeah. So it depends on what type of diabetes. There are types that have genetic components, although the role that genes play in disease is overstated, because genes are not don't determine anything. Genes don't express in a vacuum. They only express in an environment. So what genes you have will play out differently if you grow up in different places. But there are lifestyle diseases like diabetes, right? So diabetes has a lifestyle component, which is where we would start. So I would try and find out more about, okay, is this person, what's this person's relationship to sugar? And sugar is an addiction. So if you're addicted to sugar, I'd like to explore why. Where does this come from? And if we can get that under control, we can get the diabetes under control, right? We can get the symptoms thereof under control. And what tends to happen is the erectile dysfunction that's induced by the diabetes, it starts to clear up on its own. It starts to work itself out once the body starts to become healthier and the lifestyles change.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which isn't to say, by the way, that that when a disease like diabetes is at a late stage where it's actually, now you need multiple interventions. You need a medical intervention at the same time. Someone could have stage 4 cancer, and cancer is, there's a lot of new research that is showing the link between repressed rage and cancer. So it's all good and well to have someone who has cancer and say, okay, well, let's work through your repressed rage. Well, if they've got stage 4 cancer, you're also going to need to do other interventions as well, right? The psychological intervention is not going to be enough at that stage.
So look, anything from blood pressure to heart disease to all of these conditions,
cholesterol,
even Parkinson's, cholesterol. So all of them, and here's what people don't realize is all of these diseases also come with trauma. Not necessarily, it doesn't even have 100%. To be past trauma. 100%. You find out you've got the disease. Okay, you now got to combat the disease. You now got to live with this disease. It's going to cause trauma. If it's not trauma that caused the disease is going to cause trauma in your current life. Yeah. And not only is that going to inhibit your performance, your ejaculation, your capability of reaching orgasm, it's going to affect all of these facets. But in the long run, most of it can be cured by going to see somebody like Josh. Because it's going to help. He's going to help you just work through your trauma. I think what's powerful for me is also when I learned how to do the lingam massage, people don't realize the absolute power that goes with that. Just allowing that exchange of energy to take place, and what it does to people with erectile dysfunction. It's really miraculous. What's your experience with that, Josh?
Yeah, my experience with that in particular is quite interesting. So there's this phrase we use in more of a tantric setting, where we call a lingam massage with a soft penis. We call it the quiet lingam.
Quiet lingam.
And the first time I experienced a quiet lingam massage, the first time I received a quiet lingam massage, the first thing that came up was I want to feel ashamed that I'm not erect. But as I settled into the experience, I realized not only should I not be ashamed, it feels really, really, really good. Like it's an absolutely blissful experience. In some ways, the penis is more sensitive when it's soft. In some ways, obviously, there are other sensations that aren't there. That are there when you have an erection. Yeah, exactly. So managing to teach people to receive or to give themselves pleasure when they're soft, right? You don't just have to be hard to receive pleasure. That I've found that is one of the most powerful ways to help people with erectile dysfunction, because that reduces this feeling of shame and reduces this
Yes.
need for performance. And when that need for performance disappears, that's when the erection starts to come.
I love that for all mankind.
The pressure, hey? Yes. I have a curiosity around something you said earlier, you touched on earlier, Josh, when you went, my partner must have multiple orgasms before I take my pants off. And I think somewhere along the lines you said, because I'm only going to come once. So let's talk about men and multiples. Okay, so some men
let's do that, yes.
can quickly come once, and then they're like Superman, and then they can just carry on for the rest of the night. Okay, some men, they come and they are finished. Game over.
Totally disinterested.
So how do we manage that and give men the extended pleasure alongside Lola's extended cervical orgasm pleasure?
This is such
That's a good.
such a great question. Such a great question. So, so some men have a shorter refractory period, so they're able to, become aroused and erect soon after orgasm. Some men have a longer refractory period. Then so that's one way of having multiple orgasms, or what we would actually call consecutive orgasms. Multiple orgasms is there's no refractory period at all. At the climax of the orgasm, immediately thereafter there's an onset of the next orgasm, so it builds again. So like that's what most women who experience multiple orgasms will experience it this way. So for men who are trained who have trained themselves to have multiple orgasms, what will happen is at the onset of the climax, there will be a retraction of the muscles that produce the ejaculation. So you'll have a dry orgasm. You'll have an orgasm without ejaculation, okay? And then there'll be no refractory period, and then you'll be able to go either straight back into a full orgasm, or straight back into sex. So or into pleasure. So you're just continuing. So I've experienced this a few times in my life, where one total by accident, like complete accident, and then a few times subsequently very much on purpose. So that's one way. Yeah, that's one way of having multiple orgasms. But honestly, it's sort of like a parlor trick, and it's kind of pointless. The thing I like the most in this space is expanded orgasm. So if you think of your orgasm on a scale of 1 to 10, so 1 is the lowest level of arousal, 9 is the highest, and then from 9 to 10 is your orgasm, right? So I say to my patients when we're doing expanded orgasm practice, as we're doing the lingam massage, I say, okay, give me a baseline on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you now? 10 being orgasm. Right? So okay, we got like a 4 or 5 or 6, whatever. And I say, okay, so 9 is the edge and 10 is too late, right?
Yeah.
So the expanded orgasm practice really is the ability to bring yourself to a 9.9 and sustain that for as long as you want. That's the ultimate goal. That's like black belt level. If you can get to a 9.9 and sustain that and not go over the edge until you decide, that's mastery. And if you've ever had an orgasm, you know that final part of the edge is the most delicious, pleasurable experience. You're basically coming the whole time. And so that for me is the most powerful practice that a man can do. That's like the highest level of tantric pleasure, because you're experiencing this bliss state for as long as you want. It's very difficult. It's obviously not an easy thing to do. And anyone out there who wants to practice this, what I suggest is create a self-pleasure practice, masturbation practice. Okay. I think we actually spoke about this yesterday, and we were going to touch on it today. So this may be a good moment. So a few key rules for your self-pleasure practice if you're going to practice this in a tantric way. Okay. So 1, no fantasizing and no pornography. Very, very, very important. You've got to stay out of your head. You've got to be in your body. Set a scene where You are using your breath. You're using your breath to move into the body, and the self-pleasure practice begins by touching your body. Don't go straight to the genitals. Okay? Find out what parts of your body you like to touch, because then you can have a partner touch you in ways that you didn't know you liked.
You hear that, Carmen?
The last piece of advice I'd give on self. And then the last piece of advice I'd give on self-pleasure practice in this context is bring yourself to the edge of orgasm and stop. Don't come. Just stop. Stop there. Take deep breaths. Move the energy in your body. You don't want to get blue balls, but you don't want to orgasm at this point. You want to train your body that you don't have to orgasm at the end of every at the crescendo of pleasure. You can hold on to that energy. Okay, so that's how I would start the expanded orgasm practice if you're doing it at home.
And this is also available for women, right? Females can also age.
Absolutely. So there's a thing in BDSM we call orgasm torture.
Yes.
Okay, which is part one, where you're bringing a woman to the edge of orgasm 150 times. And the second part of that is making them come so many times that they beg you to stop.
Yes.
Right. So that's orgasm torture. So you can use the edge. As a woman, you can use the edge of orgasm as a healing tool as well. It's a very, very powerful tool. Actually, for men and women, using the edge of orgasm and not going over that edge builds energy. It builds sexual energy in the body. And what ends up happening is, because you're not releasing that energy through the genitalia, the body has to release it somehow. And what it tends to do is the body will have you cry or scream or laugh or shake and tremor. And when you're tremoring like that, when your body's shaking like that, it's releasing trauma. You're actually releasing trauma. No.
Sure.
Hey, that's your superpower, Josh.
Love it.
Denial.
Love this for your clients, by the way. Love this for your clients. Before we end this segment,
going to be fully booked.
Before we
for
end
the rest of the year.
Before we end this segment,
my hands will be full.
Let me try that again. I'm not walking into this trap. Before we end this segment, is there anything else that you'd like to add, Josh?
Yes. There's one last thing I'd like to add. The thing that I want anyone who's listening to know about the work that I do, or any work that anyone does in the space of healing, is that healing is possible. All of us have an innate ability and an innate desire for authenticity with ourselves and connection with others, and that it's all possible. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, how down in the dumps you are. Healing is possible. It takes work, and it takes courage and commitment, but you can do it. And if you'd like to, with me, I'm available, so give me a call.
So the listeners heard the advertisements in the beginning during the commercial break, and we'll play it again now at the end. So that's how you would be able to get hold of Josh. Otherwise, if you guys are listening to the replay, just rewind to the beginning, the middle, or the end, and then you guys can find Josh's ad there. Carms, anything that you would like to add? My beautiful blonde bombshell of a beauty.
I feel highly educated, okay? And most flirted with. Thank you both. It's been lovely.
Josh from the Lola Blakely production team, thank you so much for availing yourself and coming on the show and taking us on this journey with you. We have had fun.
Yes, we have.
Anything to do with pleasure. I mean, and you know what? It's not just Dineo Ranka that says my new favorite saying. Today I was watching an episode of Grey's, and it's the part where Maggie's mom passes away from cancer. And Maggie's mom is like giving her a couple of points and tips before she passes away. And she goes, And you know, pleasure is your right, my baby. And I'm going, yes, pleasure is our right. Okay, there we go. It's official. It's been on Grey's Anatomy, so I mean, it must be true. Listen, lustful listeners, we have had a hoot of a time this evening. It's been an absolutely amazing episode. What can you guys expect to come on the Lola Blakely Productions series of shows in the week coming? Tomorrow night, we have got Dangers in the Dungeon on Kinky Classes. Kinky Classes BDSM education show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Dangers in the Dungeon. Myself and Medusa will be speaking about the Dangers in the Dungeon, but we've got a little bit of a surprise for you guys. I'm not going to say what it is just yet, but listen in and identify the voice. Okay. On Wednesday night, on Lola's Lifestyle Lectures, your ethical non-monogamous guide on how to swing and practice poly perfectly, we have got the very last episode in this season, which is really sad for me. So Lola's having a threesome with twosome, and we are doing red flags aren't raunchy. So let's take a look at the red flags that swingers should be taking a look at before getting into bed with possible play partners. Then on Friday night, Carmen and I will surprise you with another episode. Yes, Carms?
Surprise!
Surprise! And that's also going to be our last episode.
And then goodbye. And then it's so final.
Oh, I hate this. I really, really hate this. So we were talking of having a little bit of a longer production break this time around, because I think the whole production team is really, really tired. I mean, we had not even 3 weeks of production breaks. So production break's going to be a little bit longer, but we're going to come back with a spectacular 5th season. The 4th season has already been, I mean, we've been trending more than we've ever trended in any of the previous seasons. So it's been tremendously successful. Yay us.
Yeah.
So that is what you guys can expect to come from the Lola Blakely production series for this coming week. And on that note, lustful listeners, it's about that time of the evening where we unfortunately have to bid the lot of you a farewell and a goodbye. But until next week, same time, same place, we love the lot of you.
We can fight our desires, but when we start making fires, we get ever so hot. Whether we like it or not. They say we can love who we just. But what is love without lust? Two hearts with accurate devotions. What are feelings without emotions?
Good day, I'm Jean-Marie van Graan, also known as Lola Blakely, and I'm thrilled to introduce to you Lotus Love, your ultimate destination in relationship, intimacy, and wellness coaching. As a wellness, relationship, and intimacy associated counselor, I'm passionate about helping individuals and couples navigate the complexities of modern relationships. Through personalized coaching sessions, I empower my clients to embrace love, intimacy, and connections in all its forms. Whether you're exploring ethical non-monogamy, navigating post-divorce life, or preparing for the dating scene, I'm here to support you. My coaching approach is holistic, compassionate, and tailored to your unique needs and goals. Together, we'll uncover your strengths, address the challenges, and create a path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation? Book a consultation with me today, and let Lotus Love be your guide to fulfillment in relationship and life. Your path to a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life and relationship can start with me here today.
Hi, my name is Josh Muller, and it's my mission to support people in reconnecting with their bodies, to heal mind, body, and spirit. In my practice, I utilize a holistic approach to healing trauma that incorporates talk therapy, guided breathwork, and various forms of touch, including deep tissue massage and trigger point release. For those seeking to heal specifically from sexual trauma and wish to expand their relationship with pleasure, I specialize in a form of intimate body work called Tantric touch. All the modalities I work with can be experienced individually or in combination, as standalone treatments, once off, or as part of an in-depth therapeutic process, in person or online. I work with men and women individually as well as with couples. So whether you are interested in receiving a massage, a 12-week coaching program, or anything in between, my promise to you is to meet you where you're at and provide a safe and supportive environment for you to grow and to heal. For more information, or to book a free consultation, WhatsApp me on 074 403 9886 or go to my website talktouchbreath.co.za.
How old were you when you realized you were kinky? My name is Jerry Pelser, and in my latest book I explore the topics of friendship, young love, family secrets, and kink positivity in a new series of 4 books called The Felicity Street Annals, a children's story for adults. The first book in the series launches on the 30th of May and is available in both paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com, along with my other, distinctly more adult, BDSM-flavored novels.
Sensually Royal is an adult toy store that sells all things sensual and kinky. We only sell top quality toys to give the full royal experience. Book a sensual session with Queen Anana's professional dominatrix to guide you and your partner on using our toys in the most intimate and sensual way. Pleasure is the name of the game. Remember that kink doesn't have to mean pain. You'd be surprised to see what terrifying looking toys can be used to give you an arousing, alluring, and sensational experience. Contact information: Queen Anana's WhatsApp on 063 398 2355. Instagram, Queen Anana's Official. Queen with 3 E's _ Ananas _ official. And obviously, Sensually Royal. Instagram, Sensually _ Royal.